Tarot friends, today we're talking all things February. And, oof. First, I want to get the elephant out of the room. We started off February very, very rough. And I'm not going to get into it because I'm not going to talk politics on my channel. I come to TarotTube and YouTube in general to escape the dark place that reality can sometimes be. So I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to say that it did affect me mentally this month, and that is a reflection of where I was at this month. So that's why I'm talking about it. And I spiraled a few times. You know, the social media algorithm, of course, kept bringing me back to all these things. So I had to put it down. I had to put the phone away, put TikTok away for a bit. But just know that that's where my headspace was at and is at, and I am terrified. I don't even know what to say. And it's an awful headspace to be in. I'm trying really hard to balance that headspace with being up to date with what's happening, knowing what's happening, but also keeping my mental health in a good space. It was a tricky balance. It was a very tricky balance. And because of that, that's how February started. And unfortunately for me, February, it has a lot of fun things in it. And I just feel like those fun things were tainted, not only for the political issues, but because of other things that happened in my life. So just so you know, that's where the headspace was for February. But let's do a little quick table of contents in case there's anything you're not interested in, something you're super interested in, just so that you know what I'm going to be talking about this month in this video. So we're starting with memories and experiences as usual, and then we'll segue into books, and then we'll go into purchases, of which there are some doozies. There's some good ones. So I did go to an antique shop. I did have a crystal order come in from like a Valentine's. Well, I went to a store and had an order come in. It's from the same place. I joined a postcard club, so I'm really excited to talk about that. I got a new planner. I do an unboxing, a real quick, sort of confusing unboxing, and I had a Kickstarter come in, so that's fun as well. And then after purchases, I go into decks that I used, and this month we have a special little addition to a new divination tool that I brought into my practice for the month of February, and I'm really excited to talk about it. So that's where we're at. But February, there's good and bad with February. I find that February can be really stormy. The weather is not usually great, but there's good news that comes along with February. You know, we're done with February. We're done with winter. Sorry, we're done with winter when February comes, but there's good things that happen in February. Chronologically, we've got my birthday in February. We have Valentine's Day, which I'm single usually, but there's all kinds of fun Galentine's Day events that come up, especially in the last few years. Galentine's Day has really picked up speed. So there's something to look forward to usually. And then we have a long weekend. We have Family Day weekend. So we have a Monday off, and it's a shorter month. So it doesn't last as long. But some stuff and things happened. Politics aside, extra stuff and things happened this month that were not cool. And I unfortunately have to remain, not unfortunately, I have to remain cryptic about it because it involves other people, and I'm not putting other people's personal lives on my YouTube channel. But I was indirectly affected by the stuff and things that happened. So I had a couple days worth of birthday plans planned. They got canceled. I had a Galentine's Day event that I was not able to attend, which is, I specifically bought this shirt for my Galentine's Day event and didn't get to wear it, which is why I'm wearing it here. She's getting used. And then the long weekend was just, which was also, so Valentine's Day fell on the Friday of the long weekend, and the long weekend was just a slew of snowstorms. So I was inside my house, and if I wasn't inside my house, I was outside shoveling. I think I shoveled 5 times the whole weekend. It was nuts. It was absolutely insane. So not great, but memories and experiences. Let's get into that part, the fun part, kind of. First of all, I reached 1,000 followers on YouTube, and that was a milestone that it was never a goal. My channel, I never created it for it to grow. I created it to connect with like-minded people. I found I really enjoyed watching TarotTube content, so at some point I decided to make tarot tube content. And if you like it, if other people like it, great. That's all I wanted. And at some point in February, I happened to see that there was like 900 and some odd followers. And I was like, oh, it'll be another few months before I reach 1,000. I wasn't really thinking anything of it. And then boom, it was like a couple days later, there was 1,000 people, 1,000 of you watching my channel. So a little tiny victory for my channel. I love connecting with people, and I love that people love watching similar content. And if I can bring joy to people, that makes me so happy. So thank you all so much to all my plethora of new subscribers that are here. I'm going to be doing an intro video, like reintroducing myself. That's going to be probably a couple weeks down the road because I'm formulating some questions. So that'll be coming out to kind of reintroduce myself to some of the newbies that are here. But thank you so much. And that was a little celebratory moment that happened in February. Other things that happened. So obviously birthday got canceled and we ended up having to go up to my grandma's house, there was a snowstorm while we were there, which it was pretty, I mean, you can't really do anything. She's in the middle of nowhere. So you're restricted to where you can go and what you can do anyway. So it was nice to just be there and enjoy it. And then I found this giant icicle that I had to go out and grab. I saw it and I ran out and I had to do the whole whatever moment with it. So that's fun. that was a highlight. And the other thing I did was I really leaned into the Valentine's Day bevies. And by that, I mean, I had 3 of them. So there was a couple local coffee houses near my work. So the first one had a rose quartz latte. I couldn't not do it. I had to. So I was concerned because rose flavor is a great smell. I have it on my lips right now. Not necessarily something you want to eat. So I was a little concerned, but it ended up being delicious. It smelled a little like a bath bomb. When she put the stuff in, I was like, uh-oh, mistakes might have been made. But then when she added the espresso, it was perfect. I loved it. And saw this little mural on the way back, walking back to the office. So it was a cute little moment. And then I went to another coffee shop and got a pink cafe latte, which was also delicious. Are those called Pockies or Pokies? Pockies? Anyway, it had one of those on top. And I had this cute little, I was on break and I just kind of sat there by myself and enjoyed this little cafe that was all set up for Valentine's Day. So that was cute. And then I went to a cidery and got myself a rose and honey cider. This was kind of one of those moments for me. I was by myself. I was coming back from the crystal shop actually, and this was halfway in between. And I went and I got lunch. I got a cider for myself and I sat there and I read a book. So I don't think I've ever done that before. I sat at the bar and read my book and ate my lunch. And, you know, I think I really need to lean into doing things by myself. You kind of got to get over that hump of feeling self-conscious, but it was fine. I really enjoyed it. It was nice. I got to stay as long as I wanted, eat as slow or as fast as I wanted. It was nice. So probably adding more of that to my list of things to do in the future. And then with my birthday, like I said, everything got canceled. So I was going to be an honorary Pisces for 2025. I decided I would pick up everything in the month of March, which I was looking forward to being an honorary Pisces because it's my rising sign. So I do identify with Pisces in a lot of ways as well. But the stuff and things are still happening. So if I get to resume birthday things, I had a couple of days planned for birthday things. If I get to resume them, they won't be until the end of March, maybe even in April. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I did find a rather perfect birthday spread for myself this year. I came across it on Pinterest. I wasn't even going to do a birthday spread because I was just not in the headspace for it, but I came across this on Pinterest and it was perfect. So this was the birthday spread I used for 2025 and where my headspace was at. It was just, it's what I needed. It was absolutely what I needed. So birthday didn't happen really. I did buy myself some things. However, those things are still in an open box. So we'll talk about those in March probably. Books. Again, I'm going to be lazy and use my iPad to show you the covers because I don't feel like editing in photos. So the first book I read in February, I only read 4. wanted to squeeze one more in there, but it didn't quite happen. So obviously, I think everybody who is into this series read this book in January. I'm not sure how I feel about it. The end, it definitely picked up. The last 20% of the book definitely picked up. I knew the ending was going to be a doozy of a cliffhanger. Everyone had been talking about that. So that was not a shock to me. I was expecting that. Had I not known, I might have been like, what? But I knew. So the first 80% though, there was a couple good moments. I just struggled a little, and I was surprised with the fact that I struggled. I was confused about places and names and wait, what's happening here? Which is funny because I just finished the second book prior to this. So second? Yeah, second. I don't know. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. I did like the last 20%. So at least there's that. Then I read Parable of the Sower. Probably not a good idea for where my headspace was at, but it was recommended to me. And it is rather relevant in an extreme way, in an exaggerated way for what's going on right now. So, it's a futuristic tale of it only talks about the United States. It dips into Canada a little bit, but things have gone very, very wrong for the United States, and people are living in walled communities, if they're lucky, that are still very, very impoverished. And there's people who come to these walled communities and burn them to the ground because there's a drug that makes them obsessed with fire. It's a long story. So it's all about how they survive in these communities and what happens when these walls get breached and then they have nothing. If you want to check it out, if you're into that kind of thing, I think it's a series. I did not know it was a series, but so it kind of sort of ends on a cliffhanger, but it doesn't have an overly happy ending, but it could if mentally you're one of those people where you're like, I've decided this is how it ends, which I am. Then I went for the Lake of Lost Girls. This was a TikTok made me do it. It was supposed to be a thriller. I heard people saying it had them guessing at every page turn. No, disagree. Kind of let down by this one, but whatever. I listened to that one on Audible. The other two I physically read on my Kindle. So I think the Audible experience made it a little better. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. We'll just put it that way. And I kind of was able to sort of guess what was happening. There was a smidge of a twist, but I sort of was able to, it wasn't like, it wasn't shocking. And the last one I read was The One by John Mars. I did not know this is a Netflix series now. It came out in 2021. And partway through reading the novel, I went to Netflix and I was like, oh, I'm just curious about this. I'd already watched the first 4 episodes. So at some point I'd already watched the first 4 episodes and completely forgot. This is an interesting concept. It's about scientists who discovered a gene that identifies your soulmate. And they have this website that's kind of like Match.com or whatever you want to call it, where you submit your DNA and it matches you to your soulmate, provided they have also submitted their DNA sample. And there's like 10 million people who've done it so far. It's been around for 10 years in the book. And it's all about what happens when you get matched with your soulmate. Obviously, there's a lot of scenarios that could happen. People could already be married and then they get curious and send in their DNA and turns out they have a different soulmate. So it was good. I started to watch the Netflix series after I finished the book. I have no memory of watching it. I thought maybe it would, oh yeah. No, it didn't. That did not happen. I didn't like it. I did not like the Netflix series. It is so different from the books, and a particular character's storyline I really liked, and they totally changed that person's storyline. There was also again, an implication of submitting your DNA is that your soulmate could be someone of the same sex, even if you don't identify as that. So there's a storyline of 2 men. That storyline appears to be gone, which I really enjoyed that storyline. So I wasn't happy with it. And I don't even think I made it past partway through the 2nd episode. So those were the books that I read in February. I have started 2 more. I started them in February, but I haven't finished them. So fingers crossed for finishing those in March. One of them is my book club book, so we'll talk about that in March. On to purchases. So I've got some B-roll clips that I've pre-filmed. So I'm going to splice them in here. Just a little tiny crystal order. I don't really have birthday things in here that I bought. I didn't buy any decks. I kind of thought maybe Lacrimosa, but I spent too much money on crystals. So, and now I don't know if Lacrimosa will happen at all because of taxes. So, I might regret that down the line, but is what it is. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. So the crystal order for my birthday will probably be in March, but I do have a smidge of a crystal order in here and a bunch of other fun things. So I'll put all those videos in here and then we'll get on to decks and divination. So I got my welcome package for the postcard club. I've just put a post-it. I think that's her like personal home address. So I just put a post-it over that just to kind of cover it up. But that's the company name. And I obviously put stickers to cover my address. We have a little sticker here. I'm going to try and salvage that and put it in my planner. But the welcome package has more stuff in it than what you would normally get. Your welcome package has more stuff, and then I think your 3-month package has more stuff. So maybe 6-month package? I'm not sure. But we do get stickers, we get postcards. So you get extra postcards in your welcome package, but this is the first one. So obviously she has written the message to me, and that's your first one. So I think this one is the same for everybody. Then you get a couple that you can send to other people. And it's just like a stamping style of art. I remember doing it in high school and I loved it. So you can use these to send to friends. And then I got a bookmark. Again, this only comes in your first postcard club package, and then 2 stickers. So we have this one, Good Things Grow Here. And this one, The Away Club, with some mushies. This one's wearing a ball cap. So that's cool. I'm really excited for this, really excited to support local again. Didn't quite realize that she was as close as she is. Thought she was a little further away in Canada, but kind of funny that it worked out that way. So that's my first postcard for my postcard club that I joined. So my antique finds. Okay, we'll start with this one. I got this purple bowl. It doesn't look as purple on camera, but it is like a mauvey, lavendery purple bowl. And I like, wow, that was loud, putting all my pinky purple things in it. So there's some rose quartz in here. There's a lepidolite. There's some flower agate. I think that's a little baby amethyst. This is a unicorn stone. So, and then these are the 3 clear quartz that I got the end of last year. So I really just like how that looks. I want to get more pinky purple stuff to go in here, but baby steps. I have to learn to slow down a smidge. So there's that glass bowl. Then I got this glass candlestick. It's like a purpley pink. Again, pink and cameras don't go well. It's not picking it up as well. Maybe let's put something clear next to it, although I'm blocking it. That's a little better. But I thought this would be really good for a sphere stand, especially with my new pink purple obsession. So that'll go in there. And then I got this brass elephant. I'm obsessed with him. He was actually super cheap. He's hollow on the inside, so that makes him a little bit lighter, but he is still substantially heavy. I cleaned him with Barkeeper's Friend. He was quite patinaed, so he came out really good, except I noticed after I cleaned him that there's something happening in this section right here. Not sure what happened there, but other side, he's fine. I adore him. So I'm not sure. I kind of want him to go with my little brass vase / candlestick sphere section over there, but there's a lot happening over there, so I'm not sure where I'm going to put him. So we have him. And then the last thing I managed to snag, I finally got my hands on a lion door knocker. So this one I don't think is brass. I think it's bronze, but I don't know because that looks a little brassy. So I'm afraid to try and clean it with Barkeeper's Friend because I don't know what happens to bronze when you try and keep it with Barkeeper's Friend. But the back is a little more yellow. I'm still not sure, but I love Canada. So I don't think this is an antique by any means, but I finally got my lion door knocker that I have nowhere to put. So those are my antique store finds. And here we have an order from Ariana at Equilibrio Gems. So I do participate in her Instagram live sales and I go to her store. So this video is a mishmash of both in-store purchases and Instagram live sale purchases from Ariana at Equilibrio Gems. So disclaimer, I already filmed this once and it was a hot mess. We're doing it again. So this was on sale. It was a live sale purchase. It is a Lemurian quartz. So I'm going through a bit of a Lemurian phase at the moment. And these were on sale and they got eaten up like hotcakes. So there were some that I, quote, bid on during the live sale that I missed out on for sure. So I did end up with a bit of a cloudier looking one, which is fine. These are just going to go in one of my display cabinets. Actually, this one might go on my nightstand. Maybe we'll put this one on the nightstand. And I got another one, obviously much smaller, but much more clear and quality. Also on sale. The striations are just crazy in these. I don't know if it's picking it up. The first time I filmed it, they were just like, you could see them like crazy. But one's going to be a cabinet and one's going to be a nightside table. Haven't decided which is going to be which, but new thing, new favorite obsession. Then I got a pink Fadden. I have a pink Fadden. It was in another video, but in the editing process, I accidentally cut it off. So I never got to talk, well, I talked about it, but I cut myself off because I was terrible at editing. So it looks kind of orangey on camera. And I discovered that if you put it next to something else that's orangey, it kind of turns more pink. You can kind of see the pinkies in there. But a Fadden is a quartz and it's just the formations, what that makes it called a Fadden. There's little flat slabs are what makes it a Fadden, and I want it to sit like this, but the weight of it, it's not going to work, falls over. So we're definitely going to bust out that museum putty to put along the bottom, and it will sit like this, and it will be a cabinet piece as well. Okay, the next piece. This is where I fumbled quite a bit. This was also on sale, by the way, the pink Fadden. So I ordered a sphere. It was a live sale, and this sphere has been calling me for quite literally months. She's had it on a couple live sales. There was a bigger one that was more money, that was like its twin, and it sold, but this one has hung around, and I honestly, I couldn't leave it. This stunning rose quartz sphere. Now, again, with these live sales, everything looks so much bigger on these live sales. So I thought this was going to end up being the biggest sphere I own. It is not. It's also pretty lavender, which I knew purchasing it. That's gunk from a sticker. So let's take a peek at the size difference between this one and my biggest sphere. So I thought it was going to be bigger than that one. It isn't. It's not at all. This is just a regular old clear quartz sphere. It was way less money than this one. It was a wholesale purchase. So still, this one is our biggest. But this one is stunning. It is so beautiful. There is some chatoyancy, if that's what that's called. I absolutely adore it. It was calling my name the whole time. And I went for it. So this was it was not on sale, but this is my government check is paying for this one. So I won't notice it in the bank account, which is nice, but it's why I bought this. I thought they would look so good together. This is like a pinky purple. This is, I mean, it's kind of, it's pinky purple. So I thought they would look really good together. Although I did think this was going to be bigger. Like I thought this was probably going to be like this big. But no, I think it still looks good though. It still works. Still okay size-wise. So that's what I bought this bad boy for like $1.26 from a secondhand store. Now, this is where I put this last time and it fell over, and that's what happened in my last video. So I did get Crystal Drip, which is the chip bag, but there was a hole in it, so we didn't unbox it, but this piece was in there. Mexican banded something or other, perhaps. And then the rest of the Crystal Drip baggie I dumped in with the cauldron. This cauldron probably has 3 baggies in it, so I had to do that because we had a malfunction. Now, the in-store purchase I made. Let's put her back on camera because she deserves it. The in-store purchase was this bad guy right here. This was a bundle for Valentine's Day, obviously, and it was technically a sale, I guess, so I didn't pay full price, but let's open it and see what's inside it. Oh, we have lots of hearts. Okay, let's take her off screen so we don't get distracted, and we'll go one by one. Carnelian. We have a carnelian heart. Well, that's nice. We have a white howlite heart. This is my second white howlite heart, which is great. I would love to grid my bed with these. Put one in each corner. Of course, we have a rose quartz heart. Again, the camera does not make it look pinky. It is pinky. Even that doesn't look as pinky purple. We have another heart. We have a flower agate heart. Oh my gosh, those are called hitchhikers. They're little stones that get stuck in the tumbling process. So you can probably take tweezers. Oh, there's 2 hitchhikers in there. You can probably take some tweezers and get it out. Let's see if we can zoom in so you can see 2 little hitchhikers in there. Okay, so that is a flower agate heart. I think that's it for the hearts. We have this little number. This is an iron quartz tower. Oh, helps when I'm showing it. This is an iron quartz tower. Why are we not focusing? It's angry with me because I've been messing around with the focusing. I actually bought one of these from Equilibrio Gems. It is this one right here. So now I have 2 of them. This one's more orange than this one. So we've got some color variation in these guys. So that's cool. Love that. Maybe a little family of those guys. Then we have this looks like a golden healer. I don't own golden healer. I used to, but I gave it to my mom. A raw piece of golden healer. Good to have. Very good to have. Let's turn it that way. And then we have a moonstone. Oh yeah, I see some rainbow. Oh my God, what is happening? It's not my day to film, guys. So I see some blue and some orange, maybe a little bit of green flash happening. And that looks, oh, there might be some more flash in there. But we've got this chunk of smoky, and that is black tourmaline, some chatoyancy there. Oh yeah, now I see a lot of orange in that flash. Pretty. And last piece, and I knew this was in here, it's another Lemurian. So she kind of let it slip on purpose. Oh, we've got rainbows too. That there was Lemurians in here. So this one I'm thinking might go in my purse. It's a good purse one. It might go in my purse. I don't know. I don't know what to do with all my Lemurians now. Because now I have 4 of them. One is staying in my cabinet because it's similar to this where it kind of stands up. One's, like I said, going on the nightstand. Another one's going in the cabinet. And we'll probably put another one in a purse. I don't know. Anyway, these are all my Equilibrio Gems crystal purchases for February. Kickstarter arrival day. So happy. Let's unbox it together. I already sliced open the bag. Ooh, I am so excited. Makers of magical curiosities. Okay, there's got to be one of those easy pull tabs, right? Yeah, there is. I'm absolutely keeping this tissue paper for scrapbooking. It's a little dinged up, but that's okay. Oh, there's things and stuff are falling out. Oh my god, I don't want to spoil it for myself. Anything else in the wrap? Yeah, like look at this. Stunning. Let's get it the right way. I'm holding on to all my belongings, so I can only do it with one hand. Oh my god. I love this paper. I'm obsessed. It even feels nice. So good. Okay. Let's get this gently out of the way. So first of all, this is the Kickstarter I purchased. The Rune book. So let's get the paper off because we can hardly read it. Okay, that's probably a bit easier to read. The Cosmic Whispers, History, Myth, and Magic of the Runes. Karina Nika. Oh my gosh, the runes are a fascinating piece of literature that narrates the story of a hero's journey through life's ebbs and flows. So it's the Elder Futhar, consists of 24 runes representing a chapter in the hero's tale. Together, these runes weave a coherent, interconnected narrative that spans the hero's journey. The runes are not just a literary marvel, but also an alphabet that bears witness to the enduring power of storytelling and humanity's yearning for purpose and significance. Discover the world of the Cosmic Whispers to learn how to use the runes as a tool for divination and delve into the ancient past to uncover the myths, cultural identity, and legends that surround them. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god. Look at that. Okay, so this was the Kickstarter. Everything else. So I'm assuming this is a certificate. Okay, thank you for your support. May the runes guide and inspire you. Karina and Theo. This paper's even, like, there's sparkly things in the paper. Wow. Okay, what did I get for free? What are my freebies? Cosmic Wild Oracle? Also, did I just lose a freebie? I dropped one. I think this was a whoopsie. I don't have the Cosmic Wild Oracle. I think this book is a whoopsie. But I got a sticker, and there was another one. There was 2 stickers, but it's gone missing. It has, as my sister would say when she was little, it has disappeared. Got it. Cosmic Wild Oracle sticker. Again, I didn't buy it. All I bought was the book. That's so bizarre that they would put the book in there without, like, this is a guidebook to an oracle. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. Okay. We'll wait and see if there's any updates in the Kickstarter campaign with other people saying they also got this. I thought it was a notebook. I got really excited. Okay, well, cool. Now, let's put our stickies and our paper there. Can you even see the whole book on screen? Oh, just barely. Let's crack her open. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a rune set, which I did an unboxing of. So if I remember to link it, I will link it so you can see the rune set I have, which is why I didn't buy the rune set that they had with the Kickstarter. They had a card set, but it's like very, very thick cardstock. It's beautiful. It looks very luxurious. But I already have a set of runes that I don't use enough. So I also don't need a deck of cards. So my journey with the runes, the origins of the runes, runic alphabet, runes in the Norse mythology. Let's just skip to, oh my god, see, that's the deck right there. I'm sure you probably know if you know Kokorina. So Gabo, they tell you how to pronounce it. I love that. And it has a picture of it. So also known as translation, the element, the energy, the color. Oh, this is so great. And then a section for notes. And then we go on to the next one. Wunyo. I'm very excited to dive into this and to learn more about the runes in a more in-depth way. I have the pocket book of runes or whatever it is, but this was just so luxurious. I had to try it. What's at the back? Anything exciting at the back about the author, about Kokorina? Yeah, that's it. So I'm very, very excited. I'm obsessed with the color of it. Oh, it's so stunning. The spine is even richy looking. Like I have a ladder shelf library and I know what I'm talking about. That's how I feel. All right, so that is my Kickstarter. Can't wait to get in on this and dive into it more. And one more unboxing for this month. So this I purchased. I did have the Moonology planner, but it's not working out. And I knew it wouldn't, and I still tried to substitute and still looking for that replacement for the Saint Soleil. Oh my God, that is an iridescent. I don't know if it's coming across on camera. That's pretty. It's like glowing. Okay. So, oh, a moon card. Handy. Love that. Yeah, so I'm still looking for a replacement, and I thought that the Moonology diary would do it, and it didn't. It didn't do it. So, I had to buy this. So we have the Magic of I astrology planner. I knew I was going to need another pair of scissors. Do you think I could do this with my teeth? No. I didn't do it with my teeth, by the way. I cut it. So, oh my gosh, this feels luxurious. I had this planner years ago when I first started my astrology tarot journey. And it was way over my head. Like I could not understand it. Now, thanks to the Saint Soleil Celestial Journal, I have a better understanding of astrology stuff and how to use it and whatever. Now, my concern, they pick the time zone based on where they're mailing your stuff. So I want to make sure that it's the correct time zone. Oh my gosh, this writing is itty bitty. That's what happens when you buy the mini. Okay. January 13, full moon at 2:27. Is that what this is? Does it say Cancer? Oh, it does. 12. It's off by, does it say? Yeah, it's off by a few hours. Okay, well, it could be worse. I wonder what city they're, well, whatever. Let's check another one because now I'm super curious. New moon in Aquarius, January 29, 4:36 a.m. 7:35. Okay, so the time is off. Maybe there's a reason for that. Don't know, but it's close enough. We will accept. Okay, pretty. Let's get back to what we were doing. So the Deccan Tarot wheel, that's cool. Oh my God, I'm so distracted. Guys,
Oh, moon planting guide. That's the kind of thing I say I'm going to do and I never do. Astrological reference guide. So we've got all of our symbols, which I can't remember these. I've honestly thought about tattooing the elemental symbols to try and remember what they are on my hands, because you know, there's just some things that don't stick with you. Okay, so yeah, before I had the pocket planner before, and yeah, I just didn't use it. I didn't understand it. So this is my new planner with all the astrological happenings. Actionable steps? Oh no, do I have to like do stuff? So this was, to me, it was a necessary evil. It is expensive. I don't think there's many left, if not already sold out, but the Moonology planner wasn't doing it for me at all. So this is the planner that I got, and this feels like rubber. Very cool. I am really, really, really excited, but I got some free stuff. I got a notebook. Is it 80 lined pages? Stunning. And then I got a tarot bag, which in my head was way more high quality, which I don't know why, because it's free. So like you can see through it, but I had plans for this bag and I can't remember what I remember what they were. Anyway, so these were the freebies. I'm afraid the dye will leak onto a tarot deck if I put a deck in here. A black deck could work in here, but that's not what I wanted it for. So yeah, free book, free bag, wicked planner. That was my super messy and confusing unboxing of my Magic of I Astrological Pocket Planner 2025. I was going to get the electronic version, like the digital version, and then I read the reviews and people were like, read before you buy. It's supposed to be used in conjunction with the A5 planner, which this is not the A5 planner. This is it an A6? Looks maybe a little bigger. I don't know. I think it's an A6. So then that went out the window because I thought I could save myself some money by getting the digital one. But anyway, here we go. That's another February unboxing.
So the Magic of I planner. I did read a little blurb in the book. I just unboxed it, so I didn't have time to read it, but I basically have to add 3 hours. So that was solved. That's solved. So other than that, I'm really liking the Magic of I planner. I have plans for it. I'm going to do a tarot goals for 2025 video. So I'm going to talk about that in that video. Not sure when that one's going to get posted because I have, again, the introduction video I wanted to do. So not sure when I'll post that, but I'm very excited to work with it. And especially now that I've read that little blurb that kind of explains what happened with the time zones. So very excited. And let's talk about decks and divination.
So as of the time of filming, it's the 1st of the month. So we have my money bowl. I did my offering and that candle's probably going to die. So figured we would just let it burn out. I just did my offering and I sprayed my Easy Street money draw spray. So that's a practice I've got into this month. On the 1st of every month, I light the candle and I make an additional offering, whether it's more money or something that represents money, a crystal that represents abundance or money, whatever the case may be. So that's the situation over here. And we have my new little elephant. So decks, not gonna lie, I was not heavy on the decks this month. The headspace, again, just wasn't really there. But I did use the Badass Tarot. I have talked a lot about this recently, so you knew it was coming. This is my February deck. This is the deck that I use for my birthday month because I feel it represents Aquarius very well. I did the Lionhearts February challenge with this deck. I think for March, I'm going to not do a Lionhearts Tarot challenge. I really enjoy them, but I think I'm going to switch it up to just doing a card a day, just to do something different, make my tarot journal look a little different. But this deck, I feel like it got ripped off this month. I look forward to using this deck every February, and I feel like the experience with it was just tainted for 2025. Love that card. The cat, oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like it got ripped off. However, what I did notice with this deck, and this is, you're probably going to think, well, yeah, that's what tarot reading is. But for me, it's not. I find I read tarot very logically. I put down a card, the Hanged Man. What does the Hanged Man represent? Okay, and that's how I read my response. With this one, I started to really focus on the images first, and it wasn't intentional. It just kind of started happening. And that's kind of the goal for me. But like I said, I'm always like, okay, Queen of Wands. Sometimes I don't even look at the photo. I just look at what the title of the card is, and it makes me so mad that I do that. But this month with this deck, I did go to the visually, I went to the image first. So yay me. And it's funny that this was the deck that happened with. So lots of repeat cards. Lots and lots of repeat cards this month. So that was kind of strange. But this was the tarot deck I primarily worked with in February, as it is every year. So I enjoy working with it. It's just this year there were stuff and things happening. As far as other decks used, I mean, I did use the odd one-off tarot deck here and there. Not much to talk about. The Saint Soleil Beginner's Tarot was one of them. But the Oracle decks, I did use a lot from my Decks for Self-Care video. This one, more so. So this is one that I had to bring in because of, I needed it. So this is a cute little guy. We all know this one. It was just a nice little end of day pull. It helped. It did. So, and the colors are pleasing to the eyes. So it was a good one. It was a good one to work with, and I'm glad that I used it. So again, not very deck heavy. So this portion of the video is bleak. However, there is a portion I'm very excited to talk about. I started working with this. I plan on adorning this with stickers, but I have commitment issues and can't decide which ones. So this I purchased, oh my gosh, like back in the summer. And I had purchased it to work. Lisa Pepez and Dawn Michelle had posted a video, and they have a whole document about working with dice. So it didn't happen. I bought these amethyst dice, D&D dice. They've just been sitting there. Shocker. Which other ones do I use? I use almost all of them. I was going to put them in a different container, but I kind of like that they're protected. And this one? I think this one. Nope. Okay, we'll work with these ones. We'll show these ones. So, I have a couple D&D dice sets. I do not play D&D, so this is new to me. I have a couple sets that I purchased from Etsy that are just super lightweight. They're just like resin, very plain, very cheap, and they actually sent me a free set along with it, so I have 3, but I loved this amethyst one that I got on Etsy. So, how I've been working with these, it's mostly time frames. So you've got the 12, you've got the 20, you've got 4. The 10 I use in percentages, so that's not really a time frame one. But if you're looking for the D20, I like to use for days. If you're looking for how many days until something happens, I'm going to roll it in here because if it goes rogue, I don't want to have to look for it. So if something is going to happen probably in the next 20 days, or you're wanting something to happen in the next 20 days, somewhere in the near future, how many days until X? 12. So that's a good one for days. This one is also a good one for You know, I'm supposed to go out for lunch today. On a scale of 1 to 20, how is my lunch hangout going to fill my cup today? How much will my cup be filled? 18. So that's closer to 20. Good. That's decent. So then we have the 4-sided. This is good for seasons. So there's 4 seasons in the year. The way that I do it is spring is always number 1, summer's number 2, fall is number 3, and winter is number 4. So what season should I expect X to happen? And we have 2, so spring. This could also be used for weeks of the month as well. What week of this month will this happen? 3, the 3rd week. So that one's good for that. This is our 12-sided. So this is good for months of the year. What month? I always do January as number 1. So, because you could do it like if it lands on 4, that could be interpreted as 4 months from now. So it depends on how you word the question. I like to keep it the same. However, you know, if I'm like, ooh, what month will X happen? And it comes up 2, well, that month is already come and gone. February's already come and gone. So it depends on the question. It depends on how I'm feeling at that time. So this is a good one for months. It's also a good one for astrology houses. So what house do I need to connect with or work on? What astrology house do I need to work on in the month of March? 10. If I knew what house that was, that would be helpful, but I don't because I am terrible with astrology houses, so I'd have to go look that up. So that's another really good one. And this one I work in percentages. So what percent does X have of happening? 80%. So I really only work with this one in percentages. These other ones, there's so many options. So if you have a list of things to do, let's say you have 12 things on your list and you're feeling a little overwhelmed, what number on this list should I start with? Number 3. What I like to do is with my TBR list on Goodreads, my to be read book list. The most recent one on my TBR is number 1. And I would use the 20 because I have a lot. So I would say, what book should I read next on my TBR? Number 5. So I would count down from the top and the 5th book. So there's so many options for these. And I've been working with them mostly in times, not so much with lists, not just the Goodreads list. But they're fun. They're a tactile experience. I really like them. I love that this is amethyst. It's one of my favorite gemstones. So this was something that I've had a lot of fun working with this month. And I'm really looking forward to continuing doing this. The other thing you can do, which if you have a tarot deck, it's kind of like, why bother? But we've got a D20. Oh no, my home phone. This always happens when I'm filming. So the other thing you can do, there's 22 major arcana cards in a deck. This obviously only has 20 sides. So what you do is you remove the Fool and you remove the World, because the Fool is the very beginning and the World is the very end. So you could use this to say what major arcana energy is with me right now. 13. Ooh. So that would be the 13th card in the major arcana. We're not going to talk about it. We're gonna pretend. No thanks. Or I like to say what archetype energy in the major arcana is with me right now, or that I need to work on. 14. Yeah. She comes up a lot for me with what I need to work on. Balance and moderation, friends. So that's really what I like doing with these. I've been having so much fun, and I don't know if I'm going to, Dawn Michelle has a Gamify Your Life as well, but that's a lot for me. It's too much. This is so easy. Just one quick roll to get your answer. And then you're done. Then you have it. So again, with the major arcana, if you have a tarot deck, why not you'd have to go through and pull out all your major arcana. So yeah, okay, fine. But also I've been finding if I'm at work, instead of pulling out a tarot deck, you just pull out this one little die and it's discreet. And there you go. There's what you can work on. Or this is another good one. What major arcana energy can I use to resolve this conflict at work? 2. So, I love it. I love it so much. Again, this one's I only really use the 10 for percentages. The 0, I would say it has next to no shot or barely minimal, not worth mentioning shot. But those are the D&D dice divination. I cannot take credit for any of these ideas. FYI, I came across some YouTube channels and I started researching and trying to figure it out. So I can't take credit. So I did not come up with these. So if you just YouTube, I would put the videos down below, but I've looked and listened to so many of them. Just look them up and see what you come up with and what works for you, what ideas someone has resonates with you and what you enjoy and what you think will work for you. It's so good. It is so good. And I'm really excited. And again, I love that they're amethyst. These were not cheap, by the way. The other ones were dirt cheap. You can go on Etsy and find really cheap D&D sets, the resin sets. These ones were not. Totally needed to spend that money, right? Well, good thing I got this purchase in before the taxes happened. That's all I have to say. The other ones were Canadian, so, but like I said, I bought them, I think it was last spring, maybe. These ones were a little more recent, but the other set was a long, long time ago. My original intention for the other set was to use them for lists for what tarot deck to use. So I had all my tarot decks listed and numbered, all my oracle decks listed and numbered, and I was rolling the die to see what deck I should use for that reading or that month or whatever it might be. So that's how I originally started using them. And that was my idea, but it goes along with the lists. They can be used for any kind of list. So really excited, really happy to finally be working with these, and hopefully I'll be able to commit to some stickers.
So I will leave you with a moon tray update for March, my moon tray setup color scheme for the month of March. So that'll be at the very end, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for my new subscribers. I'm so excited. I have lots of plans for videos going forward. Do I plan on monetizing my channel? I don't think so. And because I'm not even sure what the qualifications are, but I think you do have to maintain I think you have to maintain 1,000 followers. I think you have to maintain a certain number of watch hours every month. And if you don't, you're removed from the monetization program. And I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. I do this because I enjoy it. And the second me personally, it's the second I put pressure on myself, it doesn't become fun anymore. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that, but it's nice to know that it's an option to get a few dollars probably every month extra in my pocket, maybe a coffee. I don't know how it works. I haven't looked into it. I know nothing. So I don't plan on going there really. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Here's my moon tray. Enjoy. And for our final little section before we say goodbye, it's moon tray time. So we have our purple setup. I love this setup. I was obsessed with this setup. It just makes me so happy. Obviously, purple being a favorite color, this was a perfect setup for the month of February. I loved it so much. But it's time to change her out, and it's time to use those crystals. So March, you think green. But I learned from my attempt at my December display with green and white that it didn't look great. So I've come up with a plan. We're going to see how it goes. I don't know if it doesn't work. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. So let me clean all these babies out and put them away, reset, and we'll get started with the next one. Here's my plan. I was going to do moss agate with yellow. So we've got green, but not like crazy green like I tried to do for December. We have this piece of garden quartz. I have a couple garden quartz, but they're pink. So this is the only like green garden quartz I have. So I figured it would work. We've got some yellow calcite. We have some citrine. We have this bumblebee jasper, but I don't know if it's the yellow I want. And then we have some moss agate tumbles. Okay, so like this is
I have a ton of moss agate tumbles, but they're all in my plants. And I don't want to take them out because that's how they grow. I've convinced myself that's how they grow. So we could do the whole clear quartz thing to fill it in. I don't mind it though. I think I'm on the right track. I do think this will work. I feel like I am missing so much moss agate, but like I said, I know they're all in my plants and I'm not taking them out. Let me see what else I can find. So we added a couple of OJ, Ocean Jasper pieces, a Crazy Lace, a Picture Jasper, found a Citrine DT. I think that's Serpentine. I don't love that color. Like, I don't love that there's brown, but it's okay. It kind of ties in a little. And now I think, I don't know what this is actually. This came in my crystal drip. I don't know if you remember me talking about it. That's what it looks like on that side. Phenomenal. But we are using it for that side this month. Okay. So now I think I'm going to try to put some clear quartz in here to offset the empty spaces. I don't think I'm going to like it because I don't know that clear quartz is the vibe, but we'll try, and maybe we'll only use like a couple of them just to I mean, you got to tie it into that one, so I don't feel too bad about using the clear quartz, but again, it wasn't the vibe. I think I might leave it at that. I think that's where we're going to stay for the month of March. I don't mind it. I didn't think I would like it as much. I mean, it's definitely not one of my favorite months, but that's that. That is March's moon tray.